So I've escaped the lab and I've come out to do a bit of FPV flying on this fantastic day in what's been a very, very busy week. So today I'm testing out the AG01 Mini gimbals on this Radiomaster Zorro. I've already done the first two parts of the video, you know, sort of the unboxing and the overview and the fitting, importantly. So I'm now going to put a few packs through my AOS 3.5 using this and see how it works. I mean, it may be terrible. I'm betting it's not. If they're anything like the full-size AG01 gimbals, they will be fantastic. And I knew it was going to be a busy week this week, so I thought it might be interesting to do a bit of a behind-the-scenes vlog of what I get up to. Don't worry, it's not about shopping and walking the dog. It's all sort of drone and FPV related. Anyway, hello and welcome to the Whirly Bloke channel. So the channel has grown a fair bit since I first started, surprisingly, and I've had a bunch of questions about how I produce my content and how I do my reviews and so on. So I thought I'd spend a bit of time behind the scenes, if you like. Now, I knew I had a super busy week this week, and I thought I'd just try and make it harder by videoing it. Anyway, today I'm going to come out and do these AG01 Mini gimbals, check them out, and then I can get back and do the edit. And you may have noticed I'm talking to a noisy drone over here. This is my Mavic 3 Cine. I've got a client who wants to do a piece of camera like this in a few weeks, so I thought I'd try it out and check out how the audio sounds and just the best settings, and generally find out how Active Track 5 works on the M3. It seems to be pretty good. I mean, let's go over this way and see what happens. It's not bad. I'll only know how good it is when I get back. Anyway, I'm going to head over this way and go and do some flying. Well, I have to say, I think they're pretty good. And they're just like the full-size AG01 gimbals. Now, the Zorro is a great radio. I normally prefer larger, you know, the full-size radios because I'm a pincher. But this actually works pretty well. So I shall get back now and get the conclusion recorded. Now, as I said, it's been a really busy week. So let's take you right back to where it started. Last Sunday. One of my customers is a large civil engineering company, and I visit one of their road construction sites. It's a bypass every few weeks to take videos and photographs using a drone. It's called construction monitoring, and also get involved in some 3D modelling and some regular surveys for them as well. Use the Phantom 4 Pro. Today's pretty nice. Should be okay. I mean, it's about an hour's drive there. Probably an hour or two to get the work done, and then I need to get back, get all the data uploaded. I'm going to do a short edit for them, and it's not too bad a day, to be honest. But I know the rest of this week is going to be pretty busy. Good, so that's all the pre-flight done. As you can see, we're up here on this glorious Sunday morning, and this site is a bypass. It's about 1 kilometre long, and I've been doing construction monitoring up here for about 2 years. Generally come up anywhere between every 2 and 4 weeks, depending on what's needed, and we do full surveys, and also the construction monitoring. We take videos and images that the civil engineering company and the council use to put on their social media to keep the local community up to date with what's going on. Up at that end, there's the Western End roundabout. We've got this bridge here, railway bridge, and about 1 kilometre over that way we've got the eastern end, and the whole bypass is here to get round a level crossing which is over there, which just holds up the traffic. And this apparently has been in the making for about 10 years, and local community have been wanting this for a very long time. So we've also got a bunch of time-lapse cameras to capture what's going on. These have been up here for a while, so I've got to check those in a minute, and I just need to get on and get this first flight done. Got a couple of flights to do today. Clear takeoff. Something I've been asked a few times is, why do I still use the P4P, the Phantom 4 Pro? Well, mainly because it's absolutely rock solid. This is my go-to drone for doing this type of work, surveys, 3D modelling. There's nothing can beat it, mainly because it's got that fantastic global shutter. It never misses a beat. Never had any problem with this in, what, 3 years? Unbelievable. Worth every penny. You have to spend an awful lot more money to get something similar these days. Call it the flying potato if you like, but it works. Don't forget that, Dave. Yes, it's another early start for me. It is 6:17 and heading into Cambridge this morning. It's local for me, it's about 20 minutes. And I'm helping out a fellow DSR member. He's got a client who needs aerial shots in Cambridge in about 6 locations. So he was looking for somebody with some local knowledge and to help out on a couple of the locations, which I'm doing. I've got a couple of tricky, congested area locations. That's why we're setting off early, so that we don't have too many people wandering about and too much traffic. And of course, being Cambridge, it's right in the middle of the Cambridge FRZ. So we've got all our permissions in place, there's no TAMs raised, and I think we pretty much got Cambridge booked out today. So I am going to call in for a quick coffee and get down to the first location. And I'll catch you later. It's a fantastic location here, and I've had to hike up that big hill over there, which is a perfect vantage point for seeing the whole of the area that I've just been filming. So now I just need to give Cambridge Ops a call to tell them we finished the first location, get in the car, get on to the next one. Okay, so that's all done. Back home, get some breakfast I think, and that's taken, what's it now, 8:30, so it's 2.5 hours, something like that. There's no such thing as a 5-minute flight, I'm afraid, but we're really lucky. There was nobody around in those locations. Cambridge Ops really helpful as usual, so go in and get some breakfast and a cup of coffee. A few weeks ago, I got an inquiry from a client that I've done some work for before, and they'd asked about having a 360 drone shot all the way through from the front to the back of their refurbished bar on their grand reopening. That's all pretty exciting stuff. But there's going to be people in there, and for that sort of work I'd normally use my Beta FPV X-Night 360, but it's got open props, and with all those people in there and that soft flash, it's not a great combination. So I've ripped all that apart and migrated everything from that into this NewBeeDrone Invisi360 frame. As you can see, it's got guards around the outside. They're not ducks, they're just guards, and I think this will be a lot safer. Well, I know it'll be a lot safer. Plus, this frame, I like the way it's designed because the Insta360 1R drops in the middle. It's not at the front like it is on the X-Night 360. And I think that will make for a better balance. So I'm hoping this is going to work out. I've used a SpeedyBee F7 Mini in here, mainly because it's a target for iNav, and iNav just works so much better for that sort of work. It's a much smoother flying experience. So hopefully that will work out pretty well. If it doesn't, what I'm planning to do is to take my Insta360 and hang it from my Viral Light cable cam. You get pretty much the same effect, and it may be that I just can't fly it. You know, it's one of those things. Anyway, I've got to spend the rest of the day tuning it and getting some test footage, and if it all works out, I'll make another video of that. Today I've been back in Cambridge helping Matt get the last few shots that he needed, so it's been another busy day of lots of calls to Cambridge Air Traffic Control and just making sure that everything is safe to fly. Now, I didn't get that much chance to vlog today, but I did get a few shots. Very kindly, the council closed the whole top floor of this multi-storey car park in Cambridge for a couple of hours for us, and that made takeoffs and landings so much easier. And capturing drone footage in a busy city centre where there's people in the middle of a flight restriction zone does take a lot of organising to be safe and legal. So, today I'm out on a roof inspection. It's about 40 minutes away, I'm nearly there. This is pilot contract work that I do for a company that deals with insurance claims. Now, they've got all the necessary paperwork and permissions in place, and I just get told where to go, and hopefully I can just turn up, do a risk assessment and take a whole load of photographs of the roof. And I expect to be no more than an hour. So this turned out to be a 3-storey townhouse, and it costs silly money to get scaffolding put up to inspect it. And the Mavic Mini 2 is ideal for this type of work, as long as it's not too windy. It'd be great if the Mini 2 had ATI mode, because Wi-Fi interference and GPS can be a problem. And switching to ATI when things go a little bit awry just gives you that peace of mind. So that was all pretty straightforward. I'm back now. It took me about an hour plus the travel. And all I need to do is to wrangle the data and get it uploaded. It's just finishing now, which is fantastic. And the beauty of this type of work is I don't have to edit the images or the video or generate a report. That's all handled by somebody else. And I have to say, the Mini 2 is awesome for this type of work. It really is very good in these very tight, congested areas. And for wrangling the data, I use this My Passport Wireless Pro. It's basically a 4 terabyte disk, battery powered. You just put your SD card in and it ingests it onto here. You can just carry this round and your data's all safe while you travel back. Fantastic piece of kit. I've been using this for a few years now. Anyway, it's just finishing off. Good, so that's all done. And I'm totally happy with these AG01 Mini gimbals, and I've just finished editing the review video over there. Now, I'm often asked how long it takes to review products and then make a video and upload it to YouTube. And the answer is, of course, it depends. Some products I may already be familiar with, but others are new versions or new products, and it can take at least a few days of playing to know what they do and how well they do it. And sometimes it can be a few weeks, especially if I need to juggle it around other work. And like I had to do with these AG01 Mini gimbals, things have to be split up if I want to video the unboxing, the fitting, the using, and then the conclusion. And if I get to the end and the product's rubbish, I simply won't publish it. And then I need to decide if I've just wasted my time or it's fixable by the supplier. Sometimes early production units of products have a few niggles that are ironed out in full production, and it would be really unfair to judge them on that. So I'll have a chat with the company to fathom out what's best. Now, fortunately, this has only happened to me once, and it was all sorted out very, very quickly. So I'm back to the construction site that I was at last Sunday. Slightly annoying, but they've just phoned me to say that the bit of road where I've got one of my time-lapse cameras is going to have a concrete pour on Monday, and they're pulling down all the scaffolding that I've got a time-lapse camera connected to, so I've had to come up here and de-rig it. I thought I'd get a Saturday off, but you know, that's the way it goes. Anyway, see, got a bit of a trek up here. Let's go and get this camera. So if you're planning on doing any long-term time-lapse videos, then I can really recommend these N-Lapse Tiki time-lapse cameras. They're dedicated time-lapse cameras, and I use these in a number of construction sites, and they work really well. They're pretty robust. They're battery powered, and they're recharged by this solar panel on top. And this one that I've just taken down, it's been up there for 6 months, something like that, but you can leave these indefinitely, even through the winter. They are fantastic. Basically, in the back here you've got a slot for an SD card which records the photos, and a SIM card so that you can talk to it. It's basically like a mobile phone in there, so 4G SIM. And it's got two 6K cameras on the front, and the way that they're sort of laid out on here gives you a 180-degree field of view, which is fantastic. And basically the images get uploaded automatically to the N-Lapse back end, and then I can just use that to generate all the time-lapse videos once a day, once a week, once a month, whatever you want to do. It sort of does all the hard work for you. And these really are my go-to time-lapse cameras. Don't try to use anything else, they just don't work. Not every week's like this, but I hope that's given you an insight into what happens in my Whirly Bloke world. This has been an extra busy week, and I've had to juggle YouTube content creation and videos for clients. And if things weren't busy enough, I also had some software and props to finish off for a restaurant in London, but it's not really relevant to this channel. Maybe some other time. As always, thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful in any way, why not subscribe or maybe buy me a coffee to support the channel. And I'll see you next time.